Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing examples of using parallel lines and transversals. So let's start with this example here. And actually my apologies, there should be a 1 written right there. Okay, so here it says to solve for x and to solve for angle 1. So first we're going to solve for x. Now how can we do that? Well, the thing is, notice that these two black angles here, this angle here, actually, I'm going to highlight them in purple. This angle here and this angle here. These are corresponding angles, right? They're both at the top right of their respected parallel line and transversal. And, um, and so therefore they are congruent in this case. They have equal measures because we can also see here that these lines are parallel, right? So make sure it's important to note that this only works, that corresponding angles are only congruent when the lines are parallel. Now, in this case, the lines are parallel, and so we can come to the conclusion, therefore, that corresponding angles are congruent. For that reason, we can say that 4x minus 70 is equal to 2x minus 4, and then we can just solve for x from there. Okay, so let's solve for x. We're going to get, if we subtract 2x from both sides, we'll get 2x minus 70 equals negative 4. Then if we add 70 to both sides, we get 2x equals 66. If we divide by 2, we get x equals to 33. So there we go. We solve for x. So now we need to solve and figure out what this purple angle is. So the purple angle, or really both the purple angles because they're the same, the purple angle is going to be 4x minus 70, which we now know is 4 times 33 minus 70, which, well, let's see, 33 times 4, I believe, is 132, but let's make sure. Yes, 132 minus 70, which is going to give us 62 degrees. So therefore, the purple angle is 62 degrees. Notice that the purple angle forms a linear pair with angle 1, right? So because they form a linear pair, and linear pairs sum to 180, that tells us that measure of angle 1 is equal to 62, is equal to 180 minus 62, rather, which is 118 degrees. And so there we go. The value of x was 33, which made the value of both the purple angles, which are congruent, equal to 62 degrees, which made it that angle 1, the measure of this angle right here, was 118 degrees. Let's try another example. This one says, find the value of x and the measure of angle 1. So this time, these two angles here are alternate exterior angles. And as we know, alternate exterior angles are congruent, right? These are alternate exterior. Therefore, they are congruent because these lines are parallel once again. Therefore, 6x plus 1 is equal to 37. That means 6x is equal to 36. That means x is equal to 6. So that's the value of x. As for value of angle 1, again, angle 1 looks like it forms a linear pair with 37 degrees, right, with that 37 degree angle there. Therefore, it's 180 minus 37 degrees, which is 180 minus 37 degrees is 143 degrees. Therefore, measure of angle 1 is 143, and x, which isn't one of the angles but is the variable we had to find, ended up being 6. All right, let's try another example. It says, find the value of x. So this time, the angles are corresponding angles. But notice how there's no indication that these lines are parallel. There's nothing on the diagram, and there's also no wording in this question that says that indicates that these lines or line segments or whatever they are parallel. And so therefore, this is not possible to solve. It's not possible because it is not stated that the lines are parallel, right? In order for corresponding angles to be congruent, we must first know that the lines are parallel. In this case, they didn't tell us that. Therefore, we can't make any conclusions, and we don't know the value of x for that reason. Okay, let's move on to this next page. This next one says, find the value of x that makes A parallel to B. So here they're saying, hypothetically, if A and B were to be parallel, what value of x would make that true? And so in this case, we can say, well, if the lines are parallel, that would mean that the corresponding angles are congruent, and also vice versa, right? Consider that the converse of the theorems is also true in this case. Therefore, we know that the value of x that makes these two congruent, and also that makes it so that the lines are parallel, would be we'd have to find that with 10x plus 5 is equal to 35. Then we'll subtract 5 from both sides to get that 10x is equal to 30. Therefore, x is equal to 3. So basically, that tells us that if x is equal to 3, then the lines are parallel. If x is equal to something else, then the lines aren't parallel, right? Because the converse of the parallel lines and transversal theorems are also all true, right? Meaning that if we know that the corresponding angles are congruent, that tells us that the lines are parallel. Just as if we know the lines are parallel, we can conclude that the corresponding angles are congruent. So either one of those can be the hypothesis, and if so, that makes the other one the conclusion, right? And it goes both ways, right? This is biconditional. Okay, here's another one. It says find the value of x that makes line A and B parallel. So again, these are alternate interior angles. Because they're alternate interior, if the lines were parallel, that means they would be the same. And likewise, if these two are the same, that makes these lines parallel. It's an if and only if. So in this case, same kind of thing. We're going to say negative 5x plus 84 must be equal to 2x minus 7. Then we're going to subtract 2x from both sides to get negative 7x plus 84 is equal to negative 7. Then we're going to have negative 7 minus 84. That's equal to negative 91. So negative 7x is equal to negative 91. And then if we divide that by both sides by negative 7, we get that x is equal to 13. And so that's the value of x that would make these two equal, right? And therefore, that would make A and B parallel. So if x is 13, then they're parallel. If x is not 13, then they are not. All right, well, that is all for that one. Great work, everyone. We'll see you for the next one.